Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do a Facebook Live. But what's really important before we begin is you can only do a Facebook Live in an account, in a Facebook account that you have access to, right? If you can't post in that account because some groups are requires certain privileges or certain access for you to be able to share in them, it may not work. What I recommend is share that within your environment. If you happen to do a presentation, and at the end of the day, the reason why you want to share that on Facebook is because you want your audience to be aware. And this is really comes very handy because often, you know, people don't promote their events, right? But if you happen to be doing a Facebook Live, even though your room is empty, when you start presenting on your Facebook page, it will notify friends of yours that hey, Jasmine or Bill, Linda, or Paul, or Sue, or whoever, Dr. Bright, whoever is actually about to do a presentation. Okay, and then everybody within their environment may just jump in, and your audience may not be in Zoom, but it might be on Facebook Live. So even though you may feel you're presenting to yourself, you really are not. You're presenting to an audience. Another good thing too is um, once it's actually on Facebook Live, it's on your page. All right. I don't know how long it stays, but as far as I'm concerned, there's no limit. It just stays there for as long as it's there, and unless you delete it. And people can later on come in and watch your presentation days, weeks, even months or years after you've done them. Right. So here's how it works. So you would click share. Okay. Same thing. Excuse me. We're not sharing anything right now. Right now, you're going to click the three little dots. Okay. And let me just pause these notification here. Just 1 second here. Let's put that a quick little pause for about an hour. I do not want to be disturbed. Here we go. Okay. So from there, I would click the three dots. Okay. So as you click the three dots, then you would see here live on Facebook. Okay. They will actually launch a site like this. Okay. And what you do is you would name it. So this is the name of our default Zoom room. So for example, I may turn around and say here, for example, the MVP opportunity, MVP opportunity meeting with Chris and Tammy. Okay. There you go. Nice and clean. I usually don't put anything in here, but then you select your if it's a group or a page. Often, what I will do is I put it on my page, where many of you are probably aware of, and you see active team group. Now, I'm not going to go live just because people say, "What the heck's going on?" But the moment you do this, okay, the first time it may require for you to accept a few things, acknowledge a few things, and just go through the process. I can't do this now because obviously I've already done this 1,000 times. So maybe exaggerating 1,000 times, but very often. So you only ask that the first time, okay? But once you've done this, that's why you don't want to do this for the very first time 5 minutes before your event, okay? You want to practice before. Maybe you want to have someone checking you out and making sure everything's growing. You may want to check on your page that you're actually showing up there. Practice ahead of time. No 5 minutes before the event. It will be a disaster, okay? And then from there, you just go live, and that's all there is to it. Okay. And when you're doing that, then you can start presenting, and whatever you can see previous videos on how you share your PowerPoint or whatever, then your audience are going to be ready to see and hear what you have to say. And at the same time, it's broadcasted on Facebook Live. It's really neat. Now, when you're done, you could actually click end, and it ends your webinar. Everything will end because you may also want to record. You may want to record your webinar. Okay. That's totally up to you, which I do recommend when you do a webinar, record everything because you may have something, you may have an awesome night and you'd like to keep it for future use. I recommend it. You don't have to use them all, but if they're recorded, at least you have a track record of what you've done. And also, if you go back to Facebook, the three dots here, you'll notice here right now we're not active, but if it's active, it'll stay stop Facebook Live. So you just click that again, it'll stop the live. Okay. In the event that you want to stay in the room, maybe to answer some questions for some guests or things like this, just to avoid having too many things. Even then, sometimes guests and questions, even with testimonials, could also have a lot of value after the presentation. And again, just food for thought. Okay, so this is how we do Facebook Live.